श्री राम जय जय राम। ओम 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om 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 Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai 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 Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai 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 Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. 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 Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram 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 Om. What is to be shared?
Being an Independence Day today,
Being an Independence Day today,
please explain what is independence of our Atma.
Absolutely right. Probably to teach us the real freedom, God initiated this freedom movement. And in this freedom movement, especially in Indian freedom movement, we remember first Mahatma Ji and later on the national leaders, what all they did. First of all, they were convinced about the ideal. what is to be attained. Did they remain with the ideal? No. They were able to renounce so many things. Renounce their personal duties, personal commitment, personal living. For example, we remember we were in Wayanad, for a quite long time before coming to ashram. There we happened to, father used to identify Gandhians. One Raman Nair, who was having the Khadi shop in Calcutta at that time. Very, very sober person, everybody will go to him. There is a fixed price. And during the Onam and Vishu period, there will be discount of 25%. So if we go near that, he will say, wait for another 10 days, you will get 25%. So we were asking father, he is not behaving like an ordinary businessman. Then he said, when Gandhiji gave a call during Quit India movement, 1942, this man who had 3-4 children, a small house and 1 or 2 acres of agricultural land, that's all. He just left everything and obeyed Gandhiji's instruction. There are many, 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 many such people. So ideal, commitment toward the ideal, number one, and that paves the way for receding from the common run of life, sacrificing their personal life, and then on those days, Gandhiji said you should take the flag and go on foot. And when the police arrests, you should not resist. If he gives you half a dozen beating, you should not react. So such a great tapasya. It was not like a freedom movement to free something, Gandhiji wanted everyone to go through that tapasya, endurance, sahiputanme, to bear everything bravely. And then, when they come back, they don't expect any reward, recognition, appreciation. So that means God prompts us, we are involving ourselves. Beyond that, nothing. And because of that, we find he is free from the normal pull and push that one has in the material life. He was also a family man. 2-3 daughters and two sons and 2 daughters. And so what does it mean? So freedom movement, though it was a laudable involvement for the sake of the entire nation, as a spiritual aspirant, it also teaches us, or today the Independence Day reminds us, we got only political independence. There were so many types of bondages we have. What we were in 1947 and what we are in 2022 is totally different. So steadily it has been going on. Similarly, I must be able to fix up the commitment of realizing my original nature. And when I am convinced about the aim of life, I must be able to recede myself from the present field where my mind gets occupied. And I must be able to do intense tapasya, intense self-control. And then during the journey, there will be so many tests, trials. So without compromising the ideals, I must be able to endure. And ultimately, when we come out, we become humble. We don't expect anything. Highly contented person. We have seen in him. Like that, there have been many, many, many. So our freedom movement not only freed us from the British rule, Gandhian movement was instrumental in touching and kindling the spiritual dimension behind it. Unfortunately, after a period of 10 or 15 years, slowly it started sliding because a new generation is coming up. Unless and until we pass on that culture to the next generation, we cannot blame the next generation. People, especially who are born after independence, they have only some academic ideas. They form their own opinion. But what was the real motive behind Gandhiji in leading the freedom movement? Unfortunately now, for reasons known to God only, it is not understood. The moment we think about freedom movement, what comes to our mind is only Gandhiji's life. First, then there are so many leaders. At that time, it was not mixed with politics. It was a movement. It was not a party. A movement towards personal refinement, resulting in the refinement of the society. Many of you might have heard about Ekadasha Vratam, highlighted by Gandhiji. Anybody who would like to become a Gandhian is required to go through these 11 vratas. That means individual refinement alone can be instrumental for the refinement of the society. Gandhiji used freedom movement as an opportunity for that. From his writings, we could understand that his aim is only to realize God. We all know that. Even in one book, I don't know which book, maybe Passage to Divinity, Papa himself was one of the Congress workers, volunteers. Because at that time it was not a party, it was a movement, movement well rooted on moral, ethical values. That was the whole background of our freedom movement. That is why when the freedom was given, 150 years of British rule, just imagine. There was not a bloodshed. How the transition was smooth. The other day we were sharing. In 1961 we were in Madras. At that time Queen Elizabeth came. We were all standing in the Marina Beach. Two sides were full. Who was coming? Queen Elizabeth. She is the symbol of our 150 years of slavery. But nobody mixed up. Everybody gave her love, love and love only. That was the legacy Gandhiji left through freedom movement. So today when we are celebrating outwardly freedom movement, when we reverentially remember all those who have laid their life for our betterment, who have cleared the ambience for bringing out our own original faculties, capabilities, and that is why India is what India is today. Along with that, we should also remember that if adequate or sufficient importance is not given for individual refinement, it will the outer prosperity will not be felt as a gain, because our mind will be always filled with grumblings and complaints in spite of the phenomenal level of progress in many fields. One more incident comes to our mind. We were all children. We don't remember the independent movement, independent day, though we were born before that. One thing we remember, there was acute food shortage. Red rice will be given. Acute food shortage. Later on we learned that at the time of our independence, we were only having 36 crores. Now we have got 140 crores. No food shortage, in terms of schools, colleges, vocational training centers, roads, buildings, transport, unimaginable. We have moved to an unimaginable height from what we were in 1947. But still you find people are not thinking about all these positive aspects. Why, the me to me has become strong. So we are even unaware of the bounteous gifts God has given us. We should be proud of so many things today. An average Indian has definitely that. But if you open the page, today luckily, all the English paper as well as the Malayalam paper, they have brought out something that connects us with the past. So people who belong to this transitional period, they can definitely see the vast difference. And of course, those who have been blessed to have something about Gandhiji's inspiring life and mission, they will definitely understand what is lacking now is not the outer prosperity, but the inner poverty. In spite of all these things, we still have grumblings, complaints, haribari, everything, We don't have peaceful social life. Individually, people may be having, but social life, no. So on this day, let us try to remember that real freedom lies in the inner refinement. Borrowing Papa's words, he says, the inner riches should reveal our outer poverty. Inner riches. But here, outer prosperity is there, but inner poverty is there. Yesterday we were talking about that character efficiency, the second dimension. Productive efficiency is there very much, but inner character efficiency, that we have not given the due consideration for it during our life. Today morning, one headmaster came to our room. He is 76 years old. He was telling everything is okay. My wife is 2 years younger to me. Daughters are there. They have been married, well settled. But still, he said, I am not having that happiness. Lot of cravings are still there in my mind. So yesterday, we were reading, he must have been a good headmaster. Productive efficiency was there. But along with that, inner character efficiency was neglected, unknowingly, not knowingly. And that is the result. So on the Independence Day, we try to remember all these things. We are not belittling the importance of the noble leaders who have sacrificed their life, not only in the 1900s. 150 years, even before that we had a lot of problems, So 150 years of British foreign rule, we were able to free ourselves. not by any other method, not by any force, not by resorting to violence, but by resorting to moral ethical laws. Gandhiji was there to combine the outer activity with the inner sadhana. He was giving due importance. Recently we had been to Gujarat. We were taken to Kochrab ashram. That was the first Satyagraha ashram of Gandhiji. And then later on to Sabarmati. Many a time we have gone there, but still we went to the room where cooking was done. The same old, our old method, oven, our firewood, ovens, our grinding. If Gandhiji wanted anything could be had, because multi-millionaires used to give him. But he was leading a simple life. He was collecting funds for his various Harijan reform, Karyam propagation, so many things. What all he has touched upon, everything, education, and addictions, how to free ourselves from addictions, how to lead a value-based life, what should be the basis of education. There is not a single avenue or venue where Gandhiji has not applied his mind. All based on spiritual values, spiritual values, spiritual values. So that is the message we get the moment we go and stand before the national flag. And today when we chanted Janaganamana, and now 6 o'clock we all go to lower the flag. It is a symbol that reminds us of not only the political freedom we got, but also the great legacy Gandhiji had left, which we have failed to adhere to. So as spiritual children of Papa had great respect and reverence for Gandhiji. Why, Papa said, only after me going through Papa's teachings, we came to know that he was a realized soul. Then only we started reading books on those levels. Previously we were reading social reformer, freedom fighter, with a uniqueness, that's all. We all used to feel ahimsa is there, but never we thought it is a part of spiritual approach. But after coming in contact with Anandashram, after going through beloved Papa's teachings, we started realizing that Gandhiji was essentially a man of God. This is the word he used. So when somebody asked, Gandhiji does not say so that he has realized. He says he is yet to realize. So Gandhiji said, he is God, so he is searching for himself, that's all. And when the death of Gandhiji took place, he wrote a beautiful article, very touching article in Divine Life. So these are the things that come before us when we think about freedom movement. Freedom movement minus Gandhiji, we don't recognize. At the same time, you will all remember, it is a matter for research for every one of us. And though he was in the forefront and leading the whole nation, influencing a galaxy of leaders, on 15th August 1947, Gandhiji was not seen anywhere. Gandhiji was in a Harijan colony, observing his mound and spinning. Though he was behind everything. There could be so many reasons, but he was not there. He did not give embarrassment to anybody. He did not impose his views on anybody. He gave directions, but he left it to them to do it. Even then, based upon that, when we look back to Gandhiji's days, whenever he did anything, he did not ask anybody to join. People joined. When Gandhiji's statement comes, automatically people throw their life to him. Just like, Papa heard, Papa saw him at a distance and got transformed. Vinobaji heard about him, got transformed. This time when we went to Kochra, then only we were told that it was in this place that Vinobaji met Gandhiji. So we always remember freedom movement with Gandhiji, not minus Gandhiji. Anything else? Hari Om. Yes. Yesterday we shared 2-3 anecdotes. Does anybody remember? Huh?
I'm there to feed. My rule is to feed people when they come hungry.
My rule is to feed any man who comes hungry to our door, whatever his nature or antecedents. Then,
Greatest devotee.
Narada, the farmer. We had heard it in a different way through Shettis, Bhujanga Shettis, but here this is something very, very, very touching. He says, not 36, not 36, 38. The great saint Narada once approached Lord Vishnu and asked, "O Lord, who is your greatest bhakta?" The Lord asked him to go over to a poor farmer in a certain village, who he said was his greatest bhakta. Narada visited the village and saw the farmer. He observed nothing special about him. The only thing he could note was that the farmer used to repeat Ramnam once in the morning before he started work and once in the evening before he retired. And for the rest of the day, he was engaged in his daily work. Narada returned and said to the Lord, "What is the special trait of that farmer which marks him out as the greatest devotee? He takes your name only twice during the 24 hours of the day and night, while I am always chanting it." The Lord replied, it's very nice. Though he remembers me only twice a day, and you do it always, you have to note that he does it in spite of his absorption in the farm and other activities all day long, while you have nothing to distract your mind from me. Another difference is that while you are proud and self-conscious of your devotion, the farmer is quite humble and egoless. Then,
Dog story. Dog. The mirror. Dog. Where monkey came?
Monkey after that monkey they are tied.
Eh?
Monkey story I've forgotten.
Monkey was tied that we have
Inch by inch, it will progress. Monkey. Persistence.
Then, anything else?
And then Swami Ranganathananda.
Ranganathananda Swamiji is what?
Inner
That.
character efficiency. Outer productive efficiency. Will become a broken.
We did not complete that. Because simultaneously we had to translate in Tamil. It was an uphill task for us.
Untouchable.
Yeah, that is very important. Yeah. We may be doing a lot of these pujas, so many things under the banner of spirituality or religion. But what happens to us? Whether we have been able to expand our love circle. Yeah. Uddiyukto jahadiha. Ubhe sugrada dushkrite tasmat yogaya yujyasva yoga karmasu kaushalam. So here we said, as you work, you bring blessings to society by your honest, efficient, cooperative labor in whatever fields you are working. See also that your inner life becomes qualitatively richer, full of joy, full of peace, full of love and concern for humanity. That is spiritual growth. Today we can call it a qualitative enrichment of human life. Language is a plastic in Swamiji's hands. Today we can call it a qualitative enrichment of human life. Quantity of production, quantity of consumption, we stress again and again. And all work efficiency goes for that. And this consumption goes on, galloping, even beyond the luxuries of life. A mad consumerism has set in. That is civilization today. Mad consumerism. That is desire-based life. You go to the mall, you see things, you buy. Not that whether you need it or not. Need-based life, desire-based life. So Swamiji wants, even in his period, these were the lectures given by him in 90s. At that time, yes, it has started. 30, for the past 30, 35 years now, it is galloping, as it were. We see things and then buy, And of course, when we sit before TV or when we... Mobile. So many advertisements keeps on coming. That is the order of the day. Oh, this is there. Immediately we somehow go to the market and buy and keep. The charm will be there for a few days. Afterwards, that is also kept somewhere. So he has beautifully, and all work efficiency goes for that. And this consumption goes on galloping even beyond the luxuries of life. A mad consumerism has set in. That is the civilization today. But the result is the qualitative impoverishment of man. What is needed is qualitative enrichment, Because modern science has no insight into human nature beyond the sensory level. Therefore, one aspect of efficiency is stressed, the other is neglected. Productive efficiency comes, no doubt. New ideas, innovative, creative ideas come, no doubt. But that is slowly attracting the attention of the modern mind. And there is a science and technology by which you can enrich yourself qualitatively. At the same time, we are not belittling the importance of science and technology. Yesterday evening, somebody came to our room and then in our council, he was asking, what is meant by Vikshepa? Sanskrit word. Malayalam, we know Vikshepa means, the satellites are Vishevigya. And normally we know Vikshepa is the play of the mind, fascinating mind. But again, we want to know what exactly it is. So we go to Google Baba. Immediately he refers, Then only we came to know that Vikshepa is a prominent word in Buddhism. So what all pain they have taken to unearth all these things when we ask for something. So science and technology has also that when he says that there is a science and technology by which you can enrich yourself qualitatively. The second aspect. Once we truly believe that the man's destiny is to make possible greater fulfillment for human beings and fuller achievements by human societies, utility in the customary sense becomes subordinate. Quantity of material production is of course necessary only up to a certain degree. More than a certain number of calories or cocktails or TV sets or washing machines per person is not merely necessary but bad. Quantity of material production is a means to a further end, not an end in itself. Now Sri Krishna foresaw this kind of difficulty for humanity. He was a great worker himself, so he developed a philosophy so many thousands of years ago where efficiency gets a double dimension, where quantity and quality go together. Are those who work efficiently peaceful? Can they live at peace with each other? Serve each other? These are all important questions. We shall succeed to establish succeed to abolish war, violence and crime from society by the qualitative enrichment of human life. There is no other way except this. But we in India have been neglecting the work side of our life. We have to develop that side very much. Our problems like poverty and backwardness cannot be overcome without stress on work, efficient work, teamwork. These are all great demands on our national character today. When we become good workers, producing goods and services, we shall solve the problem of mass poverty in India. All the 800 million people were well-fed, well-educated, well-housed. What a beautiful development will it be. So productive efficiency is a profound message for all of us in these developing countries, especially for India and Africa. But even in the course of doing so, we should not neglect the second dimension. We have already started neglecting it. We are already reaping its bitter fruits. More of mental tension, more of strain, more of breakdown. All these things are also coming to us. Counseling, which is something we have not heard at all, Mental depression, confusion, more of mental tension, more of strain, more of breakdown. And to us till now, religion means only doing some ritual or paying some money to the priest to do the ritual. No benefit is going to come to you thereby unless your mind is trained. All happiness and peace come from and in the mind. They don't come from outside. Peace. Forget about God realization, this and that. We want peace. No? Everybody is unanimous in this. So without peace, even if we have millions, will we be able to enjoy? The present in the present day world, the younger generation can definitely understand, because their life was very hard, They had to struggle forward. So we know the real struggle. But today, when a child is born, he only see, I won't say comfort, luxuries. How do you expect him? So he starts his life from that. We start our life from poverty. So we could always enjoy whenever we get something more. We cannot blame this generation, because they have started with comforts and luxuries. They will not do anything beyond that. So unless and until some other ways or method is adopted to do this, we cannot blame the present generation. And that is why they get stress, tension, depression, suicide. Suicidal tendencies, They get into so many things, they are unable to get an answer. Tormenting questions are there. Whenever somebody comes, why they come here to ashrams? For peace. When they go to temple, why do they go to the temple? Peace. This aspect we have forgotten. It just becomes a routine. We will go to the temple, we will go to the ashram. But really we are all peace seekers. So unless and until I know that, how will I get? So this concept of personality efficiency, inward efficiency, is very much needed in all parts of the world today. That is the special declaration, Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam, is a unique type of definition of man's spiritual life, not opposed to man's worldly life, but comprehending both of them. Yoga of the Gita comprehends both dimensions of human life, outer life, inner life. Outer life of work, inner life of inward development. One should be active, dynamic, protective, creative. But at the same time, he should also strive for inner development, inward development. Gita does not make a gulf between one's secular life and religious life. That gulf has been bridged by Sri Krishna ages ago. So this definition will appeal to every thinking mind, to every national mind, to agnostics, even to atheists who are afraid of the world, religion or God. There is no religion in all this by way of dogma and ritual in the normal sense of the term. It is a comprehensive philosophy of life, philosophy and spirituality of life that one gets from yoga of the Gita. It is meant for every human being. Let us, Sri Krishna says, be yogis. Sri Krishna is whispering to everybody, be a yogi. Immediately many of us may come to the wrong conclusion. To be a yogi, we must be a special kind of people, some magic, some miracles. This and that must be there to be yogis. Recently we had been to a place where the mother came, great devotee of ashram, and she has got a son. We don't know what exactly she told. The boy came and asked, "You can also do magic?" I said, "I am like you. Whatever you can, I can do it. That's all." So that is how people give a feeling. Spirituality means what is it? Magic. We must be a special kind of people. Some magic, some miracles, this and that must be there to be yogis. Sri Krishna says, no, I don't mean any of that. I mean the most normal life. This word is very important. A normal life, but with a depth added to it, not superficial. Normal life with a depth added to it. You are living, you are working, you are dealing with others, and in all these you are also shaping your mind and heart, trying to manifest the divine spark that is within you. In this way, a parallel development takes place. Externally, social welfare and development. Inwardly, spiritual growth and fulfillment. Atmano mokshartam jagat hitaya. Both should go hand in hand. Striving to realize the Atman within me. At the same time, ensuring that what is hitagaram, what is beneficial for the society, that only should come from me. Both. And some of these ideas are coming to us from modern biology. Okay, we will leave that. So be a yogi, no? Sri Krishna whispers to every one of us, be a yogi. Work hard. Bring happiness and welfare to society through your work. This cannot be done by simply praying to God or by performing some rituals. That has been our mistake. We sought for material improvement by rituals and ceremonies. To obtain wealth, one installs a picture of Lakshmi, goddess of wealth, goes on doing arati before the picture. That was the foolish thing many people did. Go and work. That is what creates Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the product of efficient labor, cooperative labor. In recent centuries, we forgot cleanly this truth. One can worship the picture of the goddess after doing hard work, not understanding the meaning of Saraswati, goddess of knowledge. By merely worshipping a picture of Saraswati, we are not going to achieve a knowledge. These are only symbolic worship. Just a picture you worship once in a year and be quite happy after doing hard and productive work and after study of books and thinking for oneself. That is how knowledge comes. That lesson we forgot. We have to regain and relearn it today. It shall be true devotees of Saraswati and Lakshmi, and we shall learn a new lesson in this modern period, which Swami Vivekananda particularly stressed, that Lakshmi is the product of Saraswati. The more knowledge you have, the more wealth you will be able to create. Ignorance is not able to create wealth. First, therefore, pursue knowledge. That is called the worship of Saraswati. Then apply the knowledge to the nature's forces around you. That becomes wealth. That becomes Lakshmi. They are very true, beautiful, loving sisters. The old experience was they were jealous sisters. Wherever Lakshmi comes, there Saraswati will run away, and vice versa. In our case, it was true. Rich people may not have much knowledge, and knowing people will not have much wealth. That has been our condition, not understanding the true meaning of Lakshmi and Saraswati. Today, we have to bring these two sisters to every home, to the whole of our society. First Saraswati, then Lakshmi. Apply your knowledge, then wealth comes. Sri Krishna had earlier said, Salpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahatu bhayat. If productive efficiency increases even by 5% in India, we shall be taking leave of all this poverty and backwardness. Sri Krishna asked me to be a yogi. I can't be 100% yogi, so I will remain what I am. That is not the correct attitude. Become a yogi of 1%, 5%, as much as you can. All that is going to bring a lot of blessing to you and to your society. That truth we have to keep in view constantly. All laziness must go from society. In the name of religion, we became lazy. In the name of meditation, in the name of samadhi, we became lazy. Went to sleep for centuries together. This Gita comes like a clarion call, Sri Krishna's Shankadhvani, to wake us up. He will say that in the 11th chapter. Uttishta Sulavaswa. Arjuna, get up. Require the glory that belongs to man. There is a glory attached to human beings. We have lost this glory. We have to regain it now. And one more thing we will read, very interesting, about the priest. We can't have religion by paying money to a priest to recite some mantra there. Most of us believe in that kind of religion. To what low level has our concept of religion come? The lowest level is what I noted in places like Haridwar. You go there, pay 5 rupees to the panda. Take hold of the tail of a cow and you will go to heaven. That is called religion to many people. To what a low level it has gone. What has happened to you? Nothing. Panda got 5 rupees. You held the tail of a cow. You are the same. Cow is the same. Panda is the same. No difference at all. But this inner growth, spiritual growth, Adhyatmika Vikas, slowly, gently taking place. There is no big show about it, no flash about it. We thought of becoming saints by show, showy saints. There is no showy sainthood. Then he blasts. Here again he says, Atmano mokshartam jagat hitayaja. For one's own liberation and for the welfare of the world. Combine work for the world with work for your own spiritual liberation. Combine work for the world with work for your own spiritual liberation. If the first part of the motto is not emphasized, we become used as a machine, and when the machine is old, it is thrown into the scrap heap. That will be our condition. That should not be. Atmano mokshartam, you must become freer and freer. This cannot come unless you orient your work situation in this inward direction. Not merely productive individual. A machine also is a productive unit. Some of the machines can do more work than you and I can do. When you cease to work, also you have some value within you, an intrinsic value. Raise the nation, raise the people of the world to the highest level of human development. That is external work. While doing so, Atmano mokshartam, be free spiritually. Achieve your own spiritual perfection. That is the message you get in this definition of yoga by the Gita and Swamiji's motto of the Ramakrishna Vivekananda movement. What a wonderful new message is coming out of the old Gita through new teachers for the good of all and the modern age. Yoga is the theme of the whole Gita. According to Lokamanya Tilak in his famous book Gita Rahasya, the word yoga and its associates have come more than 80 times throughout the yoga. And toward the end of the Gita, Sanjay also tells Dhritarashtra that it was my blessed privilege through Vyasa's grace to listen to the exposition of yoga by Yogeshwara Krishna. Also at the end of every chapter of the Gita, it is reiterated, that is the exposition of the science of yoga. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su, Upanishadsu, Brahma Vidyayam, Yoga Shastre, Sri Krishnarjuna Samvade. Thus in Bhagavad Gita, in this Bhagavad Gita, it is an Upanishad taken out of Brahma Vidya. In the science of yoga, in the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. I wish to stress this point, that the entire stress in the Gita is on man and woman at work, field, and how to utilize that work situation for one's own good and for the good of the world. A few verses later, Arjuna is going to ask this question, what is the nature of the stability, the strength? And Sri Krishna will answer him in very well-known verses, which will close the second chapter. And now we take up another. So tomorrow we will take up one more definition of yoga. Samatvam yoga muchyate. Equanimity is yoga. So the the take-home message is that whatever we do, outwardly we may get applause, we may get appreciation, we may get reward, we may get recognition. It may be useful to the society also. But what is more important is whether it is helping me in my getting rid of this me and mine, or my broadening my love circle, or my moving towards the awareness of His presence within me. Am I becoming more and more contented? Am I becoming more and more peaceful? So this is something on which we have to keep on thinking. So we started the day with something on independence. So this is the real independence. A freedom free from our own baggages. All our vasanas, all our down pulling for tendencies, unknowingly we have gathered in our dealing with the world outside. We know now it's a burden. It is a roadblock. So that is the bondage, slavery. So independence is needed, freedom is needed from those things. So freedom of the nation should remain freedom from the bondages of our down pulling tendencies, notions, which we have been carrying it. That is why we have not been able to understand and appreciate the bounteous gifts God has given to us right from our seed stage till this moment. We hardly sit and think about all these things. What all have been given to us. Why am I not becoming aware? Instead of filling my mind with grumblings, complaints, discontentment, so many things, all because the me and mine is very strong. So the real independence is to free ourselves from the me and mine. So we pray to the Lord who is seated within, who has prompted us to dwell on this subject on this most auspicious and joyous day, to make us more and more inward and to get ourselves the real benefit of our commitment towards the real freedom. Not merely an outer freedom, but inner freedom. Hari Om. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.